buddy. Dude, I'm having issues and I don't understand why. So. right, everyone. My apologies, y'all. Technical difficulties. Anyhow, we are here for stint 4 of the 2026 IRO season World Endurance Championship, y'all. Super pumped on this. Vitality we have out in front currently with 1:24 here on lap 5. Again, I do apologize. At least the stream was up so you guys could see it, although I was muted. That was deliberate because I was in a phone call trying to get this all sorted. It is completely different than the way I've done it, and yeah, 3 links in a row didn't work, so we had to quickly rush to try to get that figured out. Anyhow, so we have I'm gonna call him Consta because that's about the only thing I can read on that. In P2, Melvin we have here running in P3. Just 3 seconds in behind, so a change of position here potentially happening rather quickly. We have AMS Drift King here in P4. We will get to some good racing action for you here rather shortly. Bezzy here in P5. I do apologize if we have some of the liveries not showing up. That's a potential one. That to me looks like a stock livery. I think it is. I do apologize, but Twitchy here in P6, 23 seconds in behind P5. Does have P1R Jake in 4.9 seconds in behind him. Tony here, there's a good livery in the Dodge Viper in P8, 19 seconds in behind and gaining, coming down the mountain now. We'll see how quickly he can gain to going down the backstretch. We have Portis here. This is one of the liveries that is just not showing up. It is just white, and I don't get that, so I do apologize. Let me get over to the stream now so that I can see the chat. Wait a minute. That is the wrong chat. Alright, let's continue on down the line to my team DEFCON here in the Mercedes. There we go. Okay. Yes, we should absolutely be live. Does not look like it. You're live, guys. I'm watching it live. You're watching it live. Let me check any message. Nope, I got a message from Jaeger saying we're going. We're good. We got it. Everything appears to be excellent as far as analytics and whatnot goes. So, DEFCON here in P10 currently. Shadow Chef in the Audi R8 in P11. Just 6.2 seconds behind DEFCON. We have Jakey 8.7 seconds behind. That gorgeous looking Porsche there. In P12, a minute behind that nearly, is Jelly Racer in P13, 14 Inferno there. And then we have Mitchie here in P14 in the Dodge Viper. Great looking liveries from the teams, and again, I do apologize. I so wish that they were all working. Vitality out in P1 by a minute 24 seconds plus. He's running on a purple lap, or not a purple lap rather, but a best lap for himself. And his P1R Jake currently with the fastest lap of the race thus far with a 2 minute 1 second, 0.797 lap. So good lap, but we will see that drop. Currently, a lot of fuel in the cars. Yeah, obviously different strategies going on. I know there's got to be a battle. There's got to be a battle going on here. There's Twitchy running purple currently in that GTR. Our Jake just 4.2 seconds in behind and not gaining just yet. Now, indeed, I don't know what the timing's doing. Looks like it's gaining, and then he's not, and then he is, and then, yeah. Our Jake in P7. A few seconds away from catching anybody. This is a potential overtake from the Mazda. Still 2 seconds away. I don't believe the Mazda's quite got the gusto it needs to catch the Viper down the back stretch there. Just not really gonna work. No, losing a little bit of time there. And on to the start of a new lap. I do apologize, everyone, too, if my comms are not quite on point today. I've woken up with a gnarly migraine that is now just a super nasty tension headache, but definitely not allowing the brain to function quite properly, so I do apologize to everybody. Jaeger especially, I know it's a stressful thing to run this whole thing. I do apologize, the first couple of links did not work for you. I thought I was doing it correctly, but apparently not. I don't understand why. I still don't understand why the first one didn't work. But regardless, gorgeous looking livery there with Shadow Chef in that Audi R8. This potential upcoming battle here is not for position. However, it's something like a race going on, y'all. A little something like a race going on. Up the mountain they go. Now to the downhill area. Coming up anyhow. Still a little uphill to go. And there we go. Shooting down the mountainside. Using all the track. Nice and smooth there. Jakey 7 seconds in behind Shadow Chef. And gaining there momentarily. Anybody has any requests, do let me know who you would like to see. Mitchie in the Viper here. Boy, that car is a little bit loosey-goosey. Always. That's a twitchy little car there. It's actually quite a large car. In length, anyhow. So this is about the closest thing we have to a real important battle upcoming. Is Melvin catching up to Kansa here? .5 seconds. These gaps are staying relatively the same on every battle, potential upcoming battle that I have found thus far. Great view coming down the mountain there from AMS Drifting. Gotta love that. That was a nice looking view there. Well done, cameraman. Well done. So Mbezi here in the BMW M6, rather a handful of a car is that. Turbo kicks in at the low RPMs, and boy howdy, that car just gets wild on it. I'm sure many of you know that already. So Twitchy here going up the mountain, getting the top, and we'll get started on down the mountain. Again, using every bit of the racetrack. Nice and smooth in through the dip. Ooh, little twitch there, little twitch. Twitchy's showing us a little wiggle. So let me see you wiggle it just a little bit. Oh, he did, he showed us. So P1R Jakey Project 1 racing team in the super bright, beautiful green Porsche there. Absolutely love that livery. Green is my favorite color, and you cannot miss that car out of a crowd of cars for sure. The green and the red actually goes together quite well, I do believe. If I do say so myself. So 2.9 seconds in behind Twitchy. Pantani here. Gorgeous looking Viper there. And still, Portra's 2.3 seconds in behind. Nearly absolutely identical as last lap. So these drivers really not trying to give up any time, and certainly having a go at trying to gain some time on the driver in front of them. That Viper just incredibly difficult to try to chase down on these longer straight stretches. You can see that time is just growing when he hits the stretches. Now the Mazda's really got to put in work. Oh my goodness. Going up the mountain and then coming back down the mountain to try to gain any time at all on the Viper. So 2.5 seconds rather, the difference. Now 2.8, a little bit of a bobble there. So lost a half a second there. So DEFCON in the Mercedes. Absolutely gorgeous looking livery on that as well. Oop. Oh geez, y'all, I'm just muting all the notifications on all my different devices because we don't need that coming up into the stream. Streams go to its own sound, right? Okay. All right, so a 16-second deficit to Portas out in front, nearly 10 seconds to Shadow Chef in behind. Jakey sitting at 8.7 seconds now to Shadow Chef. He's got nearly a minute advantage over somebody in behind him in the form of Jelly Racer. So no real immediate threat, obviously, from P13. But, I mean, how do you catch somebody like that, right? It's lap after lap after lap of consistency. And you got to be just a smidge quicker than the driver in front of you. And Jakey, of course, I've been racing with this man for some years now. Definitely no slouch behind the wheel, as you all are quite aware of. And then, of course, we obviously, this lobby is absolutely stacked. This season of IRO 2026 is just stacked with incredibly talented racers from all over the globe, and it's an absolute blessing to be able to call comms for y'all. Hopefully, I can do it at least decently. Blah, blah, blah. If and I can speak it in English today. Yeah, probably gonna have issues with that since the brain doesn't want to keep up with my mouth. So, there's that. So, Melvin, actually losing 3, 4, 5 tenths, 6 tenths now. What's going on with him? He's having an issue coming down the mountain. 7 tenths, just lost 7 tenths coming down the mountain there with Team MWR there. And that driver in behind, now that is not for position, but it certainly would help him to be able to catch up to that car, even push him along potentially, if he can catch him, just to really gain that much more time each lap. Tenths here and tenths there is how you drop seconds off. Seconds dropping off is going to get positions gained. So, we all know this. We all know this. Okay. Drift King here. 17 seconds in behind Melvin. And 39 seconds ahead of P5. So no immediate threat there either way you look at it. He's not going to catch quickly P3, and he's not quickly going to be caught by P5. Bezzy here as well. Pretty much the same exact situation. No threat from behind, and some ways off, 39 seconds, 39 and a half seconds from catching P4. So P6, Twitchy. Ooh, here we go. Let's stay right here because we have P1R Jake, 1.3 seconds in behind Twitchy. Now, here is about the closest thing we have to a battle thus far, and neither one of those liveries... Oh, wait, yes, the one of them is working. Okay. That's lame. I tried, y'all. I exited the lobby, rejoined, cleared my cache, did all the things, and it just still wanted to leave a couple out. That's GT7 for you, though. Oh, my head is absolutely just hurting me, y'all. Just hurting me. Great job by that driver just to get out of the way of these guys that are actually battling for position. Of course, the highest levels of respect and racing etiquette shown here in the IRO. Absolutely a pleasure to race with these guys when you can, if you're fast enough, if your team's fast enough. This year, my team definitely was not. In fact, we barely pulled out a top 10 last year, but it was an incredible amount of fun. And was certainly thrilled to be a part of season 2025 for IRO. Our first major team league that we did, and man, I gotta say, I wouldn't I wouldn't have changed the struggle to get top 10 finish for the season standings for anything, man. It was such an incredible joy to be racing with these guys on track. Definitely a talented field last year, and more so this year. And unfortunately, I was out on the road for half the season, so I think I only got to participate in 1 or 2 races, I believe. I think it was... I think I might have got 2 in, but potentially only 1. Either way, Twitchy definitely under threat now, as P1R Jake is definitely well within that slipstream and gaining. So here we will get to see our first potential move being made for position. That'll be Jake trying to grab away P6 from Twitchy. So we'll just stay right here. How's about an onboard with Jake as he begins to come down the mountain? This will be a great view. Again, the Porsche, quite a nimble little car. Didn't gain quite as much ground as what I thought he would have. Coming down the mountain, Twitchy doing a great job in that Nissan GTR. Absolutely laying down that sector and not allowing for Jake to get any closer to him. Catching up, certainly under braking there. Into the final corner and onto the start-finish straight. Late break again from Jake. Closer yet even. GTR seems to have gotten just ever so slightest better exit out of that corner. And oh, both drivers onto the grass. Great job from both of them maintaining the correct direction on the track. Up onto the curb, both cars take that quite nicely, not a problem there. Hard onto the anchors, back onto the loud pedal, and ooh, that was really close to the wall there. Both drivers, boy howdy, Twitchy there, about skimming the wall. Both drivers, again, using every inch of the track. There's a wee bit of a scrape there, but it doesn't matter. It didn't slow Twitchy down, none whatsoever. Both of these drivers absolutely using every centimeter of this track, millimeter, whatever you like your measurements to be. Woo, a little Twitchy there from P1R Jake. Hard onto the anchors again, and back onto the loud pedal, full throttle, here we go, coming down the mountain. One of the absolute fastest sectors in racing, I do believe, potentially the fastest in the world currently for GT3. Copy that, guys, gals. We are looking here and there, back and forth at the chat, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, indeed, look lovely liberty all throughout the field. There we go. Let's get our... Again, apologies, y'all. My brain just is not quite working. Well, you know, I kind of figured that something would have happened with this here battle a wee bit sooner than what it has. Regardless, I think, momentarily here. There we are. That's a much better. So we will go ahead and switch us back and check out the rest of the field. See if potentially, let's go back up to P2. No, 3.8 second gap. So this gap literally has stayed the same pretty much this entire time. Why is that on? I don't understand that. Weird. I hit a button unintentionally. So its vitality has lost 2 seconds since the beginning of this stint to Consta here. In Tino's Consta? I don't know. I'll just say Consta because I can read that much of it, right? Okay, so Melvin in P3. Both apparently VQS drivers. I so happen to know one of those personally. Not met in real life, but yeah. Good buddies. He's done me some training on track and whatnot. Helped me get a lot faster than I was at. Man, they get so close to the walls, and the way they use the entirety of the track. I mean, I try to use the entirety of the track myself, but they're doing it at max speed, right on the very edge. And as you all well know, when you are right on the very, very edge, sometimes you find where it drops off. And that is when you get your wild happenings on track, such as crashes. So Bezzy here in P5 again, 38 seconds out in front of him, 20 seconds in behind. Drift King, 38 seconds behind Drift King, and 20 seconds. Oh, and we missed it. Replay. Let's go back. We waited that whole time. Why is it not working? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. My replays aren't working? Really? That's nonsense. That is nonsense. I don't understand. I truly don't understand. Why is everything going awry? Bummer. I do apologize, y'all. Apparently my keyboard, possible to see top 3. Oh, I got you, man. I knew I was going to run through them. I did not see that until just now, admittedly. But I did see it, and you did get to see your top 3. So I must be doing all right. So, Twitchy has lost that position to P1R Jake, man. And I am so sorry, y'all. That's the first time I've ever had an issue with my replays not working, and I couldn't tell you why, so I can't fix it. However, let us move on through the field. Pantani here. I'm guessing that's how that's said. I don't know. Punt Tony, maybe? I don't know. Don't punt the guy. All right, anyways, 29 and a half seconds out in front is Twitchy. 3.2 seconds is Portis. He's still right there in the very same spot he was last time, basically. So DEFCON 12 seconds in behind P9, 22.5 seconds ahead of Jakey. Jakey, who does look though as he is gaining some ground here at lap 17. end of lap 17, rather. Shadow Chef. Oh, he had himself a bit of an incident, and I keep trying to hit the dang old mark button, man. It won't work, man. I don't know why. Oh. Oh, fully using the grass there. Yeah, they won't need to mow that part for the week. It'll be done well taken care of. Gorgeous looking livery though is that. The ORT Sports. Whoever does your livery, I quite like it. Gold. Maybe it's yellow. No, that's gold. Purple with some gold highlights to it. Rather brilliant. Getting the blue flag waved, but plenty of space still in between. So Jelly Racer here got a minute to go to try to catch up to Shadow Chef. 53 seconds to be exact. 20 seconds in behind is Michi. Let us get back to your race leader, and that is who is coming up on, who was that? Let's see. I think it was P9. Nope, it was 10. Oops, wrong way. It wasn't 10 either. Okay, it's Shadow Chef. My apologies, flicking through things all super quick like. Okay, so now race leader does get ahead there. Nicely done. Works out well. Now he can just continue on his race. Actually has gained a second on Consta there since we last looked. Consta breaking away a bit from Melvin. That was at 3 seconds. That was a 3-second gap. And it is now 5.7 seconds, just under, just switched to 5.6. Goodness. Whoa! I can't tell if that was just a bit of lag or if I didn't see any sparks coming off that wall, but it sure looked like he hit the front end and the rear end of that car on the wall there. However, again, no damage, did not see any sparks, so that was just a bit of latency in the coding. Another thing that just kind of happens in Gran Turismo 7 racing. It's just, it is what it is. We've all dealt with it for so long now. It's not a huge deal at all. Would be nice to not have that, but we absolutely love the game, love the leagues and the atmosphere of racing. With just a bunch of good drivers, man. I mean, in this case, exceptionally good drivers. So Drift King here, opting for a bit of a slightly different strategy, but I'll tell you what, making it work indeed. 21-second gap to Melvin, and that time is coming down. So Bezzy, 37.2 seconds in behind in the M6. I'll tell you, I did 2 seasons in a row racing that M6 for 2 different leagues. And when I first started it, I absolutely despised that car. I mean, until you get used to it, it handles like an absolute boat, man. Just not the most nimble of cars whatsoever. It is solid, And by the time I was done with those 2 seasons, I just absolutely loved that car. And I continued to race in it for a very long time because I had just finally, it took forever to get the RPMs and that turbo figured out, man, because that turbo, coming out of that corner right there, if you're not just on it just perfectly, you give it just a little bit too much. And obviously, you know, just raw horsepower would do that to you too, but the turbo seems to come out of absolutely nowhere. It just, that, you know, you could be holding your RPM steady and all of a sudden it just, the turbo kicks in and it will just send you sideways. But absolutely fantastic car is the M6, and Bezzy doing a great job handling that beast of a machine there, coming down the mountain rapidly. Just the ever so slightest bit of slidewaysness. So Bezzy clipping along in P5. We have P1 RJ now gaining momentum, cruising down the mountain. Dang, that Porsche really is a very nimble car, very stable car. I absolutely love it. Have been driving it the most out of everything lately, as many people have. I know that like the day it came out, and for like a week straight, you'd go into a lobby and there'd be 15 out of 16 people would be in that Porsche. Not sure how much it's changed because I haven't been racing a lot lately. Unfortunately, just have not had the time to do it, hence why I haven't been streaming lately. All that kind of stuff. Shortly, we will start to see pit stops. I can tell you that much. Don't know how long that shortly will be, but so Twitchy doing a rather good job of maintaining a relative distance and relative pace to Jake out in front. And ooh, what a save right there. All sorts of Twitchy on corner number 1 as they head up the mountain. He must not have let off the throttle at all because he's actually gaining on Jake. Connie here in PA, 31 seconds in behind Twitchy. 2.2 seconds is the distance between himself and Portis. Now 2 seconds. We may potentially have another battle here. And let us go ahead and give you a view of Portis going up the mountainside here. Not too much braking, just enough. Back onto the old loud pedal, the go fast pedal. Steady throttle, lift, brake. Back onto the loud pedal. Favorite part of the track right here for myself. Just flat out through this, little bit of scrape on the wall there. Into the dipper, nicely down there. And this has been quite the battle here, I'll tell you. Mazda and the Viper, with the combination of these two drivers in the car, seem to be quite equally matched. I mean, this gap has been the same for lap after lap after lap. In fact, Portis is closer now than he has been this entire 22 laps, to my knowledge. All right, well, I had thought that potentially that would turn into something rather different, quicker, as in a pass. However, we have DEFCON here with my team. in the Mercedes, and that just so happens to be one of the cars that we used for IRO last year. And gotta say, I quite like that car. I can tell you, for me personally, that's probably the best sounding car in the game. Absolutely love the sound of it. Two bad cars, unfortunately. I don't know, man. I don't know. It really comes down to people's personal preference as to how they like their cars to handle. You know, you might get a little sideways. Get a little sideways. You might. Gotta watch them come down the mountain here. I mean, seriously, listen to the sound of that car. Just absolutely beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful machine right there. Incredible. Jakey flying down the mountain as well in that gorgeous Porsche there. Fantastic livery on that car as well. The black and gold, love that. A little silver up in there as well. No wrong with that. Consta now diving into the pits. The first to pit in this session. Let's get a good close-up at the, the pit group for the time being. Let's get you a nice shot of the livery here. Boy, it sure didn't give us a very lengthy side view, did it? And is refusing to do so. Wanted to see the Alien Motorsport right there. See how long the delta is. So Drift King will take over P3 for the time being. Going with very nearly a full tank of fuel. Side by side they come out together. It's R8's going to have the run. Just dips back in, does Consta. Use a little bit of that draft. So now it's Drift King with a 19-point-second lead and a new podium racer. So positions exchanging hands as they often do during pit strategies, pit sequences, all of that stuff. Let's go, Team AMS, says Storyman. What's going on with number one? Number one driver is just out wrecking it. That's what's going on. Vitality has just been smoking. He started out this race with a minute and 22 second lead, has now grown 11 seconds on that. So just absolutely cruising. Nearly halfway into the stint here and doing good. Melvin now runs in P2 with a 21.9 second, may as well be 22 second gap over AMS Drift King. So it's Porsche, Ferrari, Porsche. And then we have the Merc here in P4. And we missed that too. The Merc got around, I forget who that was. The Audi. Anyways, we're just looking out, Audi, indeed. So Bezzy still running in P5, got that pretty well locked down for the time being. 18 seconds out in front of him, 17.7 in behind him in the form of Cuban Jake. So Jake in that mean green machine there, the Porsche, green and red. Gray looks incredible on that car. Really quite a nice livery indeed, if I do say so myself. Now it'll be Twitchy diving in to the pits. Get you a look at the stock livery, since this one wouldn't come up, unfortunately. Lame. Sorry, Twitchy. Again, I cleared my cache before coming in, backed out, left the lobby, come back in. I guess we all know it was the same thing for Stig Xander. Sometimes they just don't work no matter what you do. So Pantani here running in P7. And again, Porta's still... oh man, alive. Running purples is Pantani here. Ooh-wee. Portis is still just right there. Another one of the liveries that unfortunately did not come up. Twitchy comes out in P9 with Defcon in just behind there. Ooh, man alive. Just a riding them walls. Absolutely sending it. Man, I should have went and got me an energy drink, perhaps. Drift King drive that car. Indeed, certainly is. So, Twitchy gaining time here on DEFCON. Not a lot, but certainly was gaining there. Now, who was that? Okay. Oh, quite the strategy there, actually. Depending on how much fuel they take, Porsches could potentially take the position here just in the pit sequence alone. We have Melvin jumping into the pits as well. Box. Getting some new rubber underneath that Ferrari and some petrol. High octane racing fuel. Secretly added a little NOS in it. Oh, no, just kidding. The driver's drinking the NOS. Oh. Okay, so now Melvin's going to come out in P4. We'll call it 2 and an 8, 2 maybe 0.9, maybe 3 seconds. Yeah, we'll call her 3 seconds in behind Consta here, and the other Merc, the Alien Sports Merc. And now it is Vitality with nearly a 2-minute lead over the rest of the group. 28 laps into stint 4. We'll We'll keep it right here for the time beings. Let's give you that good old in-car view again for this coming down the mountain. Absolutely love it. Hard left, hard on the brakes, heavy on the loud pedal, and down the mountain they go on the big old bad straight stretch. Grabbing that slipstream, and here he goes. Round and about. It is Melvin here in just behind though. Not far. If he can catch up and get into the slipstream here, it is going to be a battle for P3. These two drivers on the same team in real life. However, they are on competing teams for the come on, brain, work. In the instance of IRO, so they're in competition directly with one another, which is always super fun to see. Oh yeah, Mercedes is definitely a good car, man. I love that car. Like I said, to me personally, I think the Mercedes is probably the best sounding car in the game, and very good handling car. It's just all around good base of a car. Like there's nothing that it does exceptionally well, but there's nothing that it's bad at either. Bit of a hug there with Barry R. No worries, no worries. Separation was imminent. Not trying to fight with him, just a little hug, just a little love tap. And Melvin certainly is gathering up the car in front, and that car is just about in the slipstream. Boy howdy, I think if I caught that guy out in front of me, I might even just push him along just to catch up to Consta there even quicker by using the draft of the car in front. Two cars are obviously faster than one. I think that would be my strategy, and potentially, oh, nice, good, clean lines there from Melvin. Absolutely cruising. This last corner just right. And back onto the loud pedal. Very nicely done. Now potentially get right up into the slipstream on this corner right here. Down into first. Bangs it back up in a second. Hard on the loud pedal, and I don't think he's quite in the slipstream of that car there. Potentially. Not quite. So they'll go around again and get after it again. Bezzy here in P5, still rocking it in the M6. Again, under no threat from behind in the form of Jake for P1R, Project 1 Racing. Again, in that gorgeous green, red, and gray. The GRG car, green, red, and gray. Richie, 49 seconds in behind, but that'll change soon. We still have half the field has not pit yet. Richie in P7, DEFCON here for my team. The other Merc on track. And I gotta say, I'm quite a fan of that livery as well. Very, very nice. Jakey, 17 seconds now behind DEFCON up into P9, and that was not too long ago a 22-second deficit. So 5 seconds, and not a whole lot of time has Jakey taken off P8, sorry. My brain, oh, I'm sorry. My brain hurts. My head hurts bad. Oh, goodness. Man alive. So, Portas here running in P10, and as was stated earlier, yes, he in fact indeed take over that spot from Pantani. Now Pantani running 5 seconds in behind, but gaining some ground there, coming up the mountain. Not a place that I expected to see that Dodge Viper gain ground on the Mazda. I would have thought that the Mazda would have been a bit more of a nimble car. However, that Viper, if you know how to drive the car, it's really one of those cars as well that is all around decent, but definitely very fast in a straight line, like lots of horsepower underneath the hood of that car. Nice looking livery as well on that. So Jelly Racer, let's get a good look at Jelly Racer here. We haven't got to appreciate his livery here for Team Inferno in P12. Also a very ooh, wow, that was close. Very nice looking livery on that M6. Absolutely love it. Love that car. I haven't driven it in a while, and the last time I did try to drive it, it was just like driving it all over again for the first time. It was just, I was all over the place. Just slideways out of every single corner, just getting on the throttle too hard. Yeah. Or just having that turbo kick in at low RPMs. So now it is Defcon jumping into the pits. He's going to lose probably no positions here, but that is going to put Jelly Racer in a lot closer. We'll see what happens here. It's going to be at least maybe 25 seconds away from Defcon. No, Defcon's already out. So yeah, it'll probably maybe 20 seconds. Maybe 20 seconds. Oh, no, it's got to be 25 at least. But he's going to again have to pit himself. Down to 36, 32. 31. Looks like it's going to stay about there, so we're 6 seconds off. Not too bad for that much of a guesstimate on that. So it is Shadow Shaft, 14 seconds in behind for Team ORT in the beautiful looking Audi. Now that car there, incredibly gorgeous car as well. Really quite good. All-around car as well. Certainly not the fastest thing on track. Probably one of the better handling cars on track, right up there with the Porsche and the Ferrari for sure. On a track like this, you would expect, or I would expect and think that the mid-engine or now newly rear-engine rear-wheel drive cars to do better on that. But I think somebody let me know if BPF. I have no idea what that means, but BPF. I don't know, bud. I don't know, man. Wouldn't know. My brain's not awakened. Maybe that should be clear, but it is certainly not clear to me at this point in time. Okay. Amici in the yellow and black. Not sure if that is supposed to be gold and black or not. Gold, white, black car. Also a very brilliant looking livery on that car indeed. Oh my goodness. I do apologize, yo. All right, let's move back through the field here. Give P1 a good eyeball because we don't often stay on P1 when they're so far out in the lead. 2 minutes and 22 seconds now, so literally gained nearly 30 seconds now. Running purples as well. Oh, my head just hurts. Anyways, just wanted to make sure P1 got a good looking at so everybody could appreciate that fine looking livery. Let's move on to P2. Mazda now has the Mazda out in front of him. Mazda really gaining some ground, under braking there, coming down the mountain. He's a wiggle in it, just a little bit, but he's definitely a wiggle in it. Needs to stay right here. The race leader is in the pits. P2 has already pit. Gonna gain a lap back here. Great show of racing etiquette and sportsmanship on track there from the Mazda driver, just getting out of the way of Consta there. Consta definitely going to get a lap back. Now should be back on the lead lap of the race. I do believe. That Mazda just tucking right in though. This is going to be really good for that Mazda. If he can stay right there, he's going to gain a lot more time around this track than what he would if he was on his own. The Mercedes can just give him a little tow. He could save a bit of fuel. Potentially, there is the adverse effect of being in someone's tow is that you actually end up using more of your tires because of the dirty air that you're in. It's a bit more of a struggle to keep the car online. But you are going to save yourself a bit of fuel if he can stay tucked into that slipstream, and it seems as though he may have lost it there. Indeed, has lost it, not in the slipstream anymore. Melvin in P3, just in behind there. Hence why Consta is not at all wanting to stick around. Let's go back to P1 real quick to see where he's come out. still 223. Shoot, he's been out for a while already. My bad, y'all. Okay, yeah, the time is dropping, as you can see. It's going to be back at just, well, 141. I was thinking about more right along the lines of the 130 mark, but I guess depending on how much fuel you take, it's only about a 40-second pit delta. So let us go back to P3, see how Melvin is doing along here on his chasing efforts to catch up Consta. Looks as though he is gaining ground going up the mountain here in that Ferrari. I'd imagine that car does very, very well going up and down the mountain. Either way, flat out sending it down the mountainside. Watch out for the roos. They like to come out at this corner. Oh, he's free and clear. Free and clear. No kangaroos were harmed in the making of this here league. I promise. Oh. All right, P4 is AMS Drift King, 17.5 seconds in behind Melvin. Also screaming on down the mountain. Coming onto the long stretch, it is Jakey now guiding off into the pits to box. AMS pulling blue sectors. Is he set? On pace to a little bit wide there. That's going to mess up the exit just a little bit there. May not get his fastest lap. We'll stick with him long enough to find out whether or not Drift King is now put down his fastest lap of the race thus far. And it's going to be a yes. Not by a lot. 77 thousandths of a second. Moving along to P5, Bezzy in the BMW. Do apologize, y'all. Another one of the liveries that did not want to show up. Just the stock livery for that driver. Not a lot we could do about it. We dang old tried. We dang old tried, though. As he's sending it up the straight here. Let's get a look at what his top speed is. Purple first sector. And I missed it. I looked away from the top speed before he came into that corner. Around 140 miles an hour mark, somewhere around there. Let us get a look at P1R Jake. Just coming in there. Beautiful line there, up onto the curb on the outside, handles it extremely well, full throttle in here, hard onto the acres, back onto the loud pedal, brushing the wall nearly, and again right up against that wall. Flat sending it up the mountain is Jake. Twitchy 14.7 seconds, 14.779 seconds in behind Jake. Jake now making his way down the mountain. And on to the back stretch. So let's just out of curiosity, let's see what kind of speed. My guess is right at 170 miles an hour. at the end of this thing. Really wind out fifth gear, 162, 65, 67, 68, 69, 171 he touched just barely there. So Porsche certainly no slouch coming down the mountain there. Which you hear with a 15-second gap out in front in the form of Jakey. With 36 seconds in behind Portis in P8. And another one of the liveries that unfortunately did not show up. 3 again for me as well, Xander. So that seems to be the number of liveries that just don't want to work. Here's Portis just getting out of the way of Melvin there in the Ferrari. Beautifully done. And ooh. Oh, Portis with a bit of damage on that race car. So you know he's not going to pit. He is just going to continue on. But Pantani now gaining ground, and he is not going to be able to keep that Viper in behind him. I'd imagine on this stretch right here, he'll be overtaken. Potentially not, though. I mean, the Viper not having any damage. Let us go to the Viper quickly. Nearly had it in time to get it done before the first turn. Hit it up the mountain here. Keeps it in second, gets lots of rotation out of the Viper. Got a tighter, nicer line there. He may get this pass done on this little bit of a stretch before they head down the mountain. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be that impatient on it. Just going to wait to hit the long straight stretch, and indeed he does. Wait it out. In through the dip. Both cars doing very nicely through there. Handled that quite well. Bang, bang, banging on them gears. And oh, a little tap of the wall, a little bit sideways. Now may not be able to get the pass done here as well with the compromised exit. Indeed, it looks like the Mazda's just gonna be able to 173, 174, 175 miles an hour hard onto the anchors. Gets a nice rotation out of the Viper there, though. And now he's, that's a late pit entrance. He is going to get a 3-second penalty from that. And DEFCON is right there as well. So that was a 3-way battle. Let's keep it right here on DEFCON. AMG versus Viper. If I had to say there was one area of struggle for that AMG and Viper, both cars would be the curbs. They don't seem to like them a whole awful lot. Both drivers using up every inch of the track possible. And, oh man, got some good racing going on here, man. DEFCON all over the back of Pantani. Is he going to look for the outside? He does take a look, but no, tucks it back in, and it's down the mountain they'll go. In through the dip, both cars handling that very well. The Viper gaining ever so slight edge. Now does the AMG have the muscle to get around that Viper? I really don't think so. Viper definitely better on top end speed. If he comes out of that slipstream, Viper's just going to keep going, and he's going to lose all the bit of speed he had going for him. 173, 175 miles an hour. Whoa, locks him up. Oh, the Viper goes a little wide there. Opportunity knocks for DEFCON. But nothing doing. As that Jakey here in P10, 13.4 seconds in behind these guys. Beautiful looking livery on that Porsche. Absolutely loving that. All of JP's liveries are just outstanding. Guys does an incredible job at RA's liveries there. Portis's livery unfortunately not showing up for us. Shadow Chef here, 35 seconds in behind Portis and 21 seconds ahead of Jelly Racer in the Audi R8. Jelly in the Inferno BMW there. Brilliant looking livery is that. Running very nearly his fastest time. 17 thousandths of a second off from his fastest time. We'll see if he nails this just right. Looks good and clean. Great looking lines there. It all comes down to this final corner. Nail it and get a fastest lap. Great looking exit right on the very edge, and it is going to be no, not quite done it. Michi in the Viper. The yellow, white, and black Viper. Good looking livery is that as well. Does pull fastest lap for himself. Oh, power! Down the power! Hey, thanks, Crutus. I appreciate it. No, sir. I've done comms a little bit last season. Unfortunately, I was out on the road doing over-the-road trucking for most of the season, so I only got to do, I think, 2 last season, and I actually did a stint for round 1 of this season. But I appreciate it, Crutus. So let us go ahead and take a look back at your current race leader, Vitality. Absolutely laying it down. It's got that time back. Another 10 seconds gained on P2 in the form of Consta just in the past few laps. And with about, 17 laps remaining, I believe it is. 17 laps remaining in this stint. Vitality pulling purples here, and ooh, a little bit of hopping sideways there. Great job to keep that car underneath of him and keep it pointed in the right direction. Really got a lot of hop going into the dip there, and beautiful job hanging on to that race car. I'll tell you, he was right on the edge of absolute disaster. You pick up damage at this point in the race, especially any heavy damage on the race car. It's going to be detrimental to the time that you have gathered in gaining on your closest threat of taking that position away from you in the form of Consta. But as it stands, nearly 2 minutes to the good thus far in the race, 44 laps in, and he was pulling purples, and I can see that driver's just slightly shaken up. That dip really unsettled that car. He caught considerable air there and went for a bit of a ride. Thankfully, he was still in control, not quite a passenger at that point in time, but Consta now cruising up the mountain ahead of him in the other AMG, the Alien Motorsports AMG. Ooh, little wall right there, just a little love for Barry. Little love for Barry, that's all. Just letting him know he was still here and still willing to put up a fight if he had to. So the Alien Sport Mercedes, the other AMG there, Consta ripping it up down the track, coming down the mountain into the final corner, and just stays off that wall. It looked like I didn't see any sparks of flying, kept the livery intact on that car. Melvin in just behind him, 4.8 seconds now is the gap between P2 and P3, so not a whole lot of difference, but check this out, y'all. It is Drift King, AMS Drift King in the other Porsche, now gaining ground ever so steadily on P2 and P3. 9.9 seconds out of getting back into that final podium position, which would put his teammate in a rather nice position going into stint 5. So Drift King certainly putting in work in this stint. I believe that was 20 plus seconds deficit to P3 at the beginning of the stint. I could be wrong. Somebody please do correct me. If you know. Oh, nice, Crutus. Nice. Yeah, I'll be still tuned in, man. I did not get up like I normally do. Like I said, I'm fighting a migraine this morning, bad. Thankfully, my medicine that I take for it did knock it back quite a bit, but brain's still not quite functioning. So I didn't get up and start watching the race from the very beginning. But I will be watching it throughout the rest of the remaining of the race. I'm just a race fan. I just love racing. I love racing. I love commentary. I love the liveries. I love everything about it. It is drifting all over that Viper. He's wanting to get a move done here. He's got that within 8 seconds now. He's gained another second. And boy, I don't know if he goes around him here or uses that draft. Looks as though he's going to take a look to the outside. The Viper's just going to let him go, I believe. He does have the blue flag being waved at him, so good call there. Good sportsmanship shown by the Dodge Viper driver there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Down to 8.1 seconds now. Is Drift King going to catch up to Melvin before the end of this stint and put his teammate in a very nice final podium position for stint 5? We shall see. I do believe at the pace that he is running currently, he's certainly on pace to do so. Plenty of racing action to go. And he's got another quick driver out in front of him in that Mercedes AMG. He can use that to his advantage as well for a time to gain even more time on Melvin. Melvin has been driving the socks off of that Ferrari throughout this stint, but Drift King is really coming on strong here. He's been working hard, good steady pace throughout, and it's really paying off here towards the end of the stint, this being stint 4. So stint 5 looking good for his teammate thus far. At least going to get them well within striking distance by the end of this stint. If not, take that position. let's move back to Bezzy here. Bezzy running P5, and I believe this driver has been in P5 for the duration of this stint. Now, another prevailing story for the stint is P1R Jake, now just 11.8 seconds in behind. He was in P7, potentially even 8 to start this stint. And has another driver that is just very consistent laps, absolutely just putting the pedal to the metal as often as he possibly can. Great smooth racing lines there, as you can see, and I shall say rather, and coming down the mountain. Let's see if he catches air into the dipper as Vitality did. It looks as though he did. The car didn't quite get as unsettled as it did for Vitality. I'm guessing that that's probably a thing in this car on this track. I really couldn't tell you. I haven't driven the 992 on the mountain yet. It is Twitchy running in P7 though. His turn now to go in and hit that dipper. Again, a little bit of air. I think they all catch a little bit of air right there, depending on whether or not you take that really nice and tight to the inside, or if you float it out to the outside just a little bit more, say the middle of the track. I believe that the car stays settled a lot better. You don't get that instant dip like that, causing the car to catch air and ride on two wheels, essentially, totally unsettling the balance and nature of the car. Defcon absolutely cruising here down the mountain as well. Does still have oh gosh, who was that? For Drift King, that's right, that's who it was. Oops. Scott Drift King in behind him, which that's, for the time being, for Drift King, that's not a bad place to be. I mean, he's definitely gaining ground on Melvin there in P3. So essentially looking to save a bit of fuel. He certainly looks as though, to me, he's got enough. Yeah, it certainly looks as though he's got enough fuel in the car to manage to make it through this stint. We'll leave that at that, not try to give it away too much of anything for anybody, but it potentially gonna just kind of stick in behind Defcon here. Don't know whether or not that's a strategy call, or he's actually really just having to work that hard to catch Defcon out in front of him there. Oh man, the brain. I do apologize, y'all. So making their way down the mountain now. Yeah, you can see every car, when you stick to the inside of it, I tried to take that dip a little bit more towards the middle of the track. It seems to it is slightly slower, but you don't unsettle your car. So it ends up being slightly quicker, or relatively the same as taking the inside. Obviously, the shortest distance from point A to point B is a straight line, right? So you want to cut as much of every corner as you possibly can. But if you're going to unsettle your car that bad due to, the way you're taking your line, then just dull that line out a little bit and not take it quite so sharply. and you can keep the car from getting unsettled. You see Drift King there definitely showing us that he can wiggle it at least a little bit, right? So Pantani here still ripping it up in P9. However, here comes ERA's Jakey. It will not be long before this move is made here. Not at all. In fact, he will almost undoubtedly be caught up to him and be making the move down the final straight of the backside of the mountain. Definitely 3/10 gained already on this driver. Jakey looking to put the team up into P9 rather than being in Whoa! Speaking of the car getting unsettled, boy howdy, he lost 4/10 of a second there. Whoa! And again. Oh, and he got damage off of that too. I did not see that. And dang the replay. I don't know why my replay buttons are not working. Mega irritating though. What is going on with that? I dare not mess with it now, y'all. I don't want to mess the stream up. I mean, it's that particular chord. I don't believe. Yeah, in fact, I can safely say that it should not have anything. I could unplug that entire thing and not have it affect the stream at all, but I'm not willing to chance it, right? So we're just going to have to deal with not having replays until the next time. So it is what it is. We have no replays. Still. I thought for sure Jakey doesn't have this pass already made. But he's now carrying damage, which is going to make it even more of a challenge to catch that Viper out in front of him. It's going to be incredibly difficult. Yeah. So there's that. Portis here in P11, 16.6 seconds behind Jakey. Gaining though on Jakey. They're momentarily now losing. 34.3 seconds behind is Shadow Chef here in the Audi. We have Jelly Racer in P13, 11 seconds in behind Shadow Chef and gaining. And then Michi, 22.6 seconds in behind Jelly Racer. So Vitality still leading this race, and he has brought that time back up and over 2 minutes to the good. 2 minutes and 5 seconds with 10 laps remaining. Make that 9 laps remaining in this stint with a 2 minutes. So that is a full lap ahead of every other car on the racetrack. Brilliant run from Vitality here. Absolutely just sending it. That Porsche looking really, really strong, and I can tell you it's a very very stable car. You can really push that car to the limit. Now, it will get a little wily on you. Like you see here, it certainly has every single one of these cars. You push them to their limit, they're going to get a little squirrely. That's just racing in general, right? All the cars have the capability to just get slideways on you. It's up to the driver to manage that power, the poise, the balance of the machine that they're in, and try to keep it right on the edge of doing so without letting it do it. And as you can see here, the level of talent on the field, more than capable of doing so. And when the car does get a little bit wily, well, they're a lot better at it than I am, and they just keep her pointing the right direction. We'll just say that. So, Consta now, 2 minutes 6 seconds in behind, 5 seconds, 0.9 seconds in behind Melvin, and Drift King now 4 seconds in behind Melvin. He sees him out in front of him too. We're just gonna sit right here. We're gonna sit right here because Melvin is quickly going to be under threat from Drift King. This guy's had an outstanding race. P1R Jake also having a great race. Obviously, Vitality having a great race. Consta really having a very effective race as well. Locking down P2 pretty well. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. I do apologize. But Melvin only 6 seconds in behind him as well. But that's been about the case throughout the race. But it is Drift King right now that is putting Melvin under threat. Got to try to break up those VQS guys. If they get linked in together, and it's going to be hard. He needs to catch Melvin before Melvin catches Consta, because if Melvin can catch Consta, those guys work together, even though they're on different teams in this league. These drivers obviously know each other, and they can make it nearly impossible for Drift King to catch them. Again, obviously, two cars being faster than one, right? So, Kuchas, I do not. My team, esports, nice stint. DEFCON, indeed, yeah, no, DEFCON doing well also. In fact, each of these drivers have certainly had their moments on track. Some good battles, even though it's this far into the stints, into the 12 hours of racing. Little better than 3/4 of the way through after this stint, 2 remaining stints. And again, the brain's just not quite working. FGR taking full stint DC. Driver. Oh yeah, bummer. That's certainly a bummer. So Drift King, that has been maintained. His distance to Melvin is being maintained right now. Melvin seems to have picked up a pace a little bit, realizing, and in fact has gained 0.7 of a second there. That was down to a 4.1 second deficit to Melvin, now up to a 4.8 second deficit to Melvin. So Melvin putting on 0.8 of a second, working on nearly a second now. Indeed, now a second, now a little better than a second. Melvin's pulling away again in that Ferrari. Down to 5.9 seconds to Consta. I thought that was going to develop into a battle much quicker than what it did. But it looks as though strategy here is starting to take its toll. And whoa! That Ferrari just got all sorts of unruly on Melvin. Melvin does a brilliant job to hang on to that. And boy, howdy, I wish I could just show you the replay there, because he was quite slideways. Oh! The AMG in the background, super twitchy as well, fishtailing all over the racetrack back there. So 5.2 seconds to Melvin is drifting. Bezzy here, 42.1 seconds in behind Drift King. Running strong here in P5 in that BMW M6. Brain function, please. P1R Jake, 8.8 seconds now away from Bezzy. That was a good 22 plus seconds. By the time he made it into P6, I believe Jake has picked up, I know for certain he's picked up one position. I think it's two. I think he was actually in P8 or 9 at the beginning of this stint, maybe even further back, but I don't think so. I think it was P8. Oh man, that Porsche and Jakey absolutely catching some big time air on the dip there. Down to 0.2 of a second. Is Jake going to take a look, or is he just going to sit here in behind him? I don't know, man. That's a tough call. You can see the Viper's pulling away in the toe, right? So there's not going to be any passing him on the straight stretch. It's not going to happen. The car's not capable of doing it with damage. It is not going to happen. I don't care how good of a driver you are. That Porsche is not going to pull away from the Viper on the straight stretch. So you have to pull away, just get around him. It's not going to happen. Now, without damage, you can catch the draft and potentially get around him. Sure, absolutely. With damage, nope, it ain't going to happen. He's got rear splitter damage and suspension damage on that car. There's just no way. Now, potentially, going up or down the mountain, a pass could potentially still be made. But that Viper's guaranteed going to catch you on the straights. Guaranteed. No two ways about it. Either way, it's still the closest thing to a battle we have on track, so we'll just stay here and give it a look. This is a battle for position too, so it's certainly worth seeing what the outcome will be. In through the dip, Viper caught a little air that time. That may have been a slight pinch of net coating though, right there. Ooh, I'm betting you right there is where he caught his damage. Jakey, I'm betting that corner is where he caught the damage. I honestly don't know though, but I mean, that would be my guess, because you're trying, especially if you're trying to catch a car such as the Viper, you want to get every just ounce of power you can get into that car as soon as you can get it into that car. And I could just easily see, you know, they push it right to the limit. And like I said earlier, you know, if you're pushing it to the limit, pushing it to the limit, pushing it to the limit, well, eventually you're going to find out what that limit is, and you're going to exceed it. In fact, if you're a racer and you're trying to get faster, you have to find your limit. You have to find the limit of yourself and the physical limits of the race car that you are in. You will not get faster if you don't do that. It's just simple facts. You want to race people that are faster than you are, and that will truly help. Another thing that I've been doing lately is going into lobbies and having everybody else be on softs whilst I try to start from the back of the race and try to get as many positions as I can get whilst being on mediums. That seems to really help me pick up my pace as well. It's also a good strategy call for people who like to do daily races, which I've not done hardly, but maybe 3 of them in the past year, simply because I do not want to lose my A again. And it only takes 1 bad race to do so. So I'm like, yeah, no, I got my A back. I would love to see an A+, but I'm not going to push it so much as to lose my A rate, especially when I haven't been on track enough lately. But this is a great little battle here. I'd imagine this really isn't going to change. Jake is just doing what Jakey is doing what he has to do at the time being. And the best that he can do right now is to bring it into the pits this close to the driver in front of him to allow his teammate to then therefore take that position at the very beginning of the next stint, potentially, right? So let's move us on to Portis running P11 in the Mazda. Another, in my opinion, epic sounding race car. That race car, to me, a lot of people don't like the sound of that race car, but I do. I really enjoy the sound of that race car. It is so unique. So unique. I mean, you would think that potentially the most unique sounding race car in the game would be something along the lines of the Lamborghini, right? Which does sound great too. But to me, this is the most unique sounding car in the game. Yeah, the rotary motor. Yeah, in my opinion, you really can't go wrong with a rotary motor. I mean, there's obviously competing motors out there that, and there's competing theories and whatnot, and you can make the case that, your standard V6 versus straight 6, my opinion, a straight motor has many advantages over the V6, so the straight 6 having advantages over the V6. It just is that way. I've known trucks personally in my real life that have had straight 6s in them, and they would literally outpull V8s. Like the power is just unreal. The type of power. I mean, just think of it as you see these 4-cylinder turbo cars out there. Take F1 for example. They're running 4-cylinder turbo engines in those cars, and they absolutely scream. You see 4-cylinder turbo engine cars that outrun V8s all day long. They'll outrun V10s and V12s too. Like, make no mistake, there are cars out there that can do it. Take the Dung Beetle, for instance. I mean, wow. That thing roasted Lamborghinis and stuff. Are you kidding me? So it certainly can be done. Shadow Chef here in P12. Jelly Racer, 5.9 seconds away. Can Jelly Racer potentially in 5 laps, now it's going to be 4 laps, can he gain 6 seconds and get his teammate that much closer to Shadow Chef? Interesting, as the race is coming to a stint end, rather. what's going to happen here. Constant gaining on Melvin. Drift King about the same as he was. Maybe he's gained another second back on Melvin. 2 minutes and 16 seconds now. 2 minutes and 17 seconds now has Vitality. So nearly another 20 seconds. The man, he is having an incredible race. Oh my. Brilliant race from Vitality. Brilliant stint anyways. Melvin and Consta both having very good races. Drift King having himself a very good race. Desi been right here the whole time. He's been in P5 this entire stint. Unknown as to whether or not he's gaining. He certainly is losing time to Jake, though. Jake, 2 laps, the finish of this lap and 2 more laps. Obviously has to complete that lap, so not a whole lot of time for him to catch up to Desi, but he is doing it. So he's going to put his teammate in a very good position for stint 5 as well, which that lobby, I can guarantee you, is up. The stream won't go to that. Brohawk. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. You guys, Brohawk says the GR Corolla has a turbo 3-cylinder engine making 300 horsepower, and yes, I concur, that is wild. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's absolutely insane the kind of horsepower and torque they're coming out with in these 4 cylinders and now 3-cylinder cars. I mean, 6-cylinder turbo engine, no problem. Yeah, I mean, obviously you put a turbo on an engine, it's going to just totally outperform. Let us get back to this momentarily. I just want to see... obviously, we'll switch back as each driver goes into the pits so that I can get a mark out so that it can be time stamped, right, as when each driver came into the pits. So we'll definitely do that. But again, like I said, this is the closest thing to a battle we have for position on track. And Jakey doing a great job with damage to keep that Viper in his sights. Like that is a heck of a feat. If he didn't have the damage, he'd already been by him. But with the damage, that's quite the feat. Quite the feat. You know what's funny, DJ? Potentially, I work with a guy who has one of those. Is that the hatchback that you're talking about, that Corolla? Because if that's the case, I have a coworker who, and it's a gorgeous car, absolutely gorgeous. It's a GR Corolla. This is the hatchback. Okay. Oh! Who is that? Twitchy getting it wrong. Dang it. Comes up with damage. And Vitality is already into the pits, y'all, on his final lap. Everybody else has got 1 lap to do. We knew that. But there he is. Into the pits now. 2 hours, 16 minutes, let's say like 39 seconds total. So now we just got to go down the line, guys. We can't mess that up again. I didn't realize he was that close. Hansa, again, just having a really good stint for his team. Alien Motorsports. There's nothing but aliens in this lobby. How are you going to name yourself Alien? Like, which alien? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. The new Mustangs have a 4-cylinder turbo making 315 horsepower or some wild number like that. Right. My brother has the Challenger. I forget what year it is, but it's only a V6 and it's got over 300 horsepower. And he specifically got the V6 rather than the V8 because for less than $1,000 worth of work on that, or no, I take that back. Maybe it's just over $1,500 worth of work on that V6, and he could literally make it outrun the V8s and still get better gas mileage. So there is certainly, okay, here comes Consta. There is it really just all about preference, to me, there's nothing like the sound of V8 muscle. There's also nothing like the sound of the 4-cylinder scream too, like that Mazda we were talking about earlier. Also, just sounds like that car just screams. It's incredible. Okay, so 2:22 from P1 to P2. 2 minutes 22 seconds. 6.505 seconds between P2 and P3. P4 and P3 is 6.807 seconds. Here comes Bezzy into the pits. And Jakey, and right behind him. So the difference from P5 to P4 is 41.942 seconds. The difference from P6 to P5 is 3.773 seconds. And what happened there? He was within 0.5 of a second of him. Huh. Twitchy, I know, got damage right there at the end. He is on his final lap, though. Andy's got damage, so DEFCON, he is on some insanely secondhand tires, though. I'm super confused what's happening in the following lobby. It should certainly have been up some time ago, I can tell you that. And I don't know. The following lobby... it looks like it's on screen. Yeah, we're split, half and half. Jaeger needs to hit the live button. Yeah, because... Vitalities should already be done and gone. So Twitchy, the difference between P7 and P6 is 1 minute 12 seconds. P8 and P7, 8 minutes 0.3 or 8 seconds 0.391. P9 to P8 is 14.109 seconds. Wait a minute. How does Jakey keep dropping down? Weird. Oh, wait. What happened? He's in P9 now instead of P10. Whatever. The difference between P10 and P9 is 0.976. Difference from P11 to P10 is 12.334. Here comes Shadow Chef and that gorgeous looking R8. That is a difference from P12 to P11 is 36.842 seconds. P13 to P12 is 5.050 seconds. And finally, Michi or Mickey, not sure which it is. I do apologize to any of y'all that I got your names wrong. English is not my strong suit. I only speak it and badly. So the difference from P14 to P13, 23.850 seconds. There you go. Jaeger's got it going on, y'all. He's got it. He's got it. Yeah, I can see it. Yep, he's full on switched now. Well done, well done. All right, y'all. All right. I appreciate everybody. Oh, my goodness. Ow. Wait a minute. What was that? I don't have to do the... Do I? Oh, no. All right, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Thankfully, I get to go back to bed now and just lay down and watch this because my head hurts like crazy. So, y'all have an absolutely blessed remainder of your night and or day, whichever it may be. God bless y'all. Love y'all. Thank you so much from the IRO. And best wishes to y'all on track and in life. Go get them, y'all.